Boom boom pow, right?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most distorted SNL impressions that got under the skin of the real people themselves.
Katie, I'd like to use one of my lifelines.
Number 10. Barbara Walters, performed by Gilda Radner. Getting impersonated on Saturday Night Live can either feel like a compliment or a slap in the face, depending on who you ask.
Dr. Kissinger, you once said that power is the greatest aphrodisiac. What exactly do you mean by this?
For legendary broadcast journalist Barbara Walters, it was more of the latter. From the show's very first season, Walters was parodied by cast member Gilda Radner, who exaggerated her speaking style and dubbed the character Bawa Wawa.
You refer to yourself as a gunswinger, sort of a Lone Ranger of foreign policy.
The sketch was a hit with audiences, but not so much with Walters herself. She initially detested the exaggerated speech impediment and worried that the caricature might stick.
After 40 years of being in this country, why do you still talk with that silly accent?
But one night she stumbled upon her young daughter watching the show, who casually told her to lighten up about the portrayal. That small nudge completely changed Walters' perspective.
Thank you very much. This is Barbara Wawa saying have a pleasant weekend.
Number 9. Fran Lebowitz, performed by Bowen Yang. No one is safe from an SNL impression, not even if you're someone like Fran Lebowitz, who acts like technology is out to get her.
People frequently are infuriated by me because I'm filled with opinions.
In 2021, the author and public speaker was played by Bowen Yang in a Weekend Update bit that spoofed her Netflix docuseries Pretend It's a City with Martin Scorsese.
I've been so bored at home, I was about to get married to my cufflinks.
At first, Lebowitz claimed she hadn't watched the episode, but she later admitted her distaste for the portrayal, saying that only people who have never been parodied would enjoy such a caricature.
And the people who went to these talks, they were children. They'd ask me, should I be a writer? Should I be a filmmaker? I say, no. You should be something useful. Be a piece of melon wrapped in prosciutto.
Ironically, her disapproval of this impression was well received by Yang, who considered it the highest praise he could have gotten from her.
I wear it as a badge of honor that she did not like my portrayal of her.
Number 8. Ann Miller, performed by Molly Shannon. Even the most spot-on SNL impressions can sometimes still hit a nerve, especially if you're the one being impersonated.
Welcome to Leg Up, a show full of dancers
about dancers
with two dancers who love to dance.
That seems to have been the case for Ann Miller. The late actress and dancer was played by Molly Shannon in a recurring sketch titled Leg Up, alongside Sherry O'Terry as Debbie Reynolds.
You look fabulous.
Oh, well, you know, Annie, I'm going to sign for that compliment and FedEx one right back because your skin is about as tight as Liz Taylor's Levi's.
While the bit quickly became a fan favorite, Miller wasn't exactly thrilled about it. According to Shannon, her main issue was the character's habit of sliding into dirty jokes and celebrity gossip, which didn't sit well with her.
Well, don't worry, you can rent it, honey.
Annie, you can't rent a Broadway show, sweetheart.
No, I meant me, $250 an hour.
Still, it did put her back on the radar for young audiences, so that at least counts for something. Number 7. Meghan McCain, performed by A.D. Bryant. Not everyone walks away from an SNL impression unscathed. Just ask Meghan McCain. The daughter of the late Arizona Senator John McCain, she found herself portrayed by A.D. Bryant, who dubbed her the Princess of Arizona.
There is a crisis at the border, and the border is right up in my Arizona, which was founded on sunburnt women selling turquoise jewelry.
Bryant's impression poked fun at McCain's tenure on the panel of The View, depicting her as a bit of a spoiled brat.
Well, can you let me talk? Because it's actually your job to listen to me.
Although she initially expressed her love for the impression, calling it a huge pop culture honor, McCain ultimately admitted that it took a toll on her and made her feel like the laughing stock of the country.
So, Jenny, you've been at the forefront of the anti-vaccination movement for many years. But what was the tea on The Masked Singer? Did you know that the pineapple was Tommy Chong?
To add insult to injury, she felt that the show was more lenient with her fellow panelists than with her.
Can you let me talk?
Well, can you let me finish?
Can I punch you in the face?
No!
Number 6. Sean Spicer, performed by Melissa McCarthy. Over the years, SNL has seen countless political impersonations, but few have left as lasting an impression as Melissa McCarthy's take on Sean Spicer.
When I say Rocky Start, I mean
mean it in the sense of Rocky the movie because I came out here to punch you in the face. And also, I don't talk so good.
McCarthy sunk her teeth into the role, playing up Spicer's fiery exchanges with reporters, and she even snagged an Emmy for her performance.
I wanted to ask about the travel ban on Muslims.
Yeah, it's not a ban.
I'm sorry?
It's not a ban. The travel ban is not a ban, which makes it not a ban.
But you just called it a ban.
Because I'm using your words. You said ban.
While Spicer himself found some humour in the impression, he thought it went a little too far. Speaking on Jimmy Kimmel Live, he admitted that watching it was traumatizing enough to send him to therapy. He'd previously also noted that the gum chewing was a tad excessive and could have been toned down. You're entitled to your opinion, Mr. Spicer, but we have to disagree with it.
Exactly 1 minute before tomorrow's press concert, and live from New York, it's Saturday night.
Yeah, that already happened.
Number 5. Sarah Palin. Performed by Tina Fey. The real Sarah Palin may have briefly shared the stage with Tina Fey on Saturday Night Live, but don't mistake that for a stamp of approval.
The only pole I care about is the North Pole, and that is melting. It's not great. What? The real one? Bye!
In reality, Palin wasn't exactly a fan of the now iconic impression, and honestly, who can blame her? While Fey's portrayal was undeniably hilarious and created some of the most legendary SNL moments, it was a pretty unflattering depiction of the then governor of Alaska and vice presidential candidate.
Well, Alaska and Russia are only separated by a narrow maritime border. You've got Alaska here, and this right here is water, and then that's up there's Russia. So we keep an eye on them.
In fact, according to Palin, her appearance on the show was an attempt to counter the not-so-rosy picture Fey's impression had left in the public's mind.
Thank you.
She even suggested that Fey ought to pay her for profiting off the impersonation.
But 1 in 5 jobs being created today under the umbrella of job creation, that, also...
Number 4. Lauren Boebert. Performed by Chloe Fineman. While some politicians are able to take their SNL impersonations in stride, some others seem to take it quite personally.
The government has been using this fake disease to strip us of our freedom. Do they think we're dumb?
Please. Would they give a dumb person a gun? Yes.
Case in point, US Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Boebert was the butt of the joke in this cold open sketch featuring an impression by Chloe Fineman, alongside Cecily Strong as Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Then they found a vaccine and said it worked. Then they said everyone should get it. Then people got it and it saved their lives. If that's not communism, then honey, I might not know what communism is.
The sketch lampooned the Congresswoman's love of guns and tendency to spread COVID-19 misinformation. Boebert was apparently triggered by Fineman's performance, as she took to social media to label her as a no-name actress with poor trigger discipline.
So Merry Christmas! And remember, guns don't kill people. People.
In response, Fineman shared Boebert's post to her Instagram, where she referred to the Congresswoman as an actual clown. Number 3. Carol Baskin. Performed by Chloe Fineman.
Hail, you cool cats and kittens, come bike with me.
It appears there's something about a Chloe Fineman impression that gets the real people riled up every time. Netflix Tiger King became a pop culture sensation during the COVID-19 lockdown, so it's inevitably got the SNL treatment. In the first at-home episode, Fineman debuted her impression of Baskin on air after workshopping it on social media.
Don't go too fast.
It was a genuinely hilarious bit, with Baskin spouting her signature phrase and addressing the rumors about her missing husband.
Riding my bike on the big kitty lake around the kitty cat preserve, and I didn't kill my husband.
But the real Baskin was not laughing. The animal rights activist is quoted as saying that she could just slap Fineman for the performance. Nevertheless, it seemed to have resonated with audiences, as fans began asking Baskin to sing in her virtual cameos afterwards.
I like to ride by the big kitties and the little baby kitties.
Number 2. Kathy Lee Gifford. Performed by Kristen Wiig. For most people, having the legendary Kristen Wiig impersonate them on SNL would be a career highlight. But former Today Show host Kathy Lee Gifford isn't most people.
I'm sorry.
Gifford didn't seem to be amused back in 2009 when Wiig portrayed her as a boozy diva, making sex jokes about her husband and constantly breaking into song.
Oh, that's an oldie but a goodie, hoe cakes. Speaking of old goodies, check out these goodie bags right here.
While you may have been laughing at home, Gifford was fuming. The impression left her so annoyed that she hit Wiig with the ultimate insult for a comedian: unfunny.
First up on the scoop, and this card just says take a shot of tequila.
Way ahead of you, Hody Hody.
If Kathy Lee Gifford had her way, Wiig's impressions might have been shut down for good. But thankfully, the world isn't run by her, so we got several more.
She has a story. He has a story. Hoda has a story. And Hoda's story is boring.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. David Paterson, performed by Fred Armisen. As the first legally blind US governor, David Paterson actually handled jokes about his disability quite well. However, when he was spoofed on Saturday Night Live, Paterson believed they crossed a line.
The person I select must be prepared to help this state face a grave economic crisis. And it's bad out there, Seth. I mean, if you don't believe me, take a look at this graph that I got here. Now, as you can see...
In the Weekend Update segment, Fred Armisen's portrayal of Paterson leaned heavily on crude stereotypes, making him appear disoriented and clownish.
Being able to do over 140 shows with my friends and my family has been a dream come true. And from the bottom of my heart, I really...
Try to... Get about $50 worth of circus tickets.
Paterson's communications director quickly responded, calling out the show for mocking people with physical disabilities. The governor also urged them to try being funny without crossing into offensive territory. Yikes. Eventually, though, Paterson seemed to have warmed up to the portrayal, as he appeared alongside Armisen in a later Weekend Update segment to poke a little fun at himself.
So it's true that your other senses are heightened?
Oh, absolutely. For example, my sense of smell tells me that there are 15 people in the audience that are from New Jersey.
What is the single worst SNL impression you've seen over the years? Let us know in the comments below.
I have a story. This is my story.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.